All right, so you're coming across this video here because either trying to figure out how do I grow my YouTube channel and or just simply what do you do to get to that 100 subscriber mark. And I'm going to say this a couple of things. As you see, I'm in my car. I'm just about to get ready and go into work, but I figured let me go ahead and talk about it because I've been wanting to make this particular video. And I'm going to say I am no pro about like making gaming content, and yes, I am in the gaming space of the, ever-ending question of is gaming channels or just starting to become a gamer YouTuber saturated. And in my personal opinion, yes. I mean, it is definitely saturated, but there's always room to improve and just so many different ways to go about making gaming related content and to grow your channel. And honestly, from what I've seen too, and over the couple years of just being on social media and being into the YouTube space too as well, you don't really need a boatload of subscribers. Yes, getting to that 1,000 subscriber mark is one of the ultimate goals too, because you can start getting monetized. But to get to that point, yes, it's gonna take a little hard work to get into it. And I'm gonna try to keep it real simple and just authentic and raw as possible about some of the things that I do, because no gatekeeping, right? Now I'll say this. Now, where do I even start about like what did I do to get to that subscriber, like over 100 subscribers currently at this video? I think I'm sitting at 104, but those things fluctuate and I get it, right? I would say is that I'm sure a lot of us constantly hears the niche, right? Finding a niche, finding what you're good at, and making content off of that. Now it's like an umbrella, right? Or a tree. There's a lot of things. The way I look at it is, I like horror games, I like RPG games, I like open worlds, first person shooters, and so forth. Now I'm not gonna go so far into detailed about like all the type of like I guess things you can do, like being a just strictly a Call of Duty player or a Fortnite player and learning builds and doing all that. No, I'm not gonna go that far because that'll take so much time. But what I want to talk about is what I did to get to 100 subscribers and having the consistent views. May not be a lot, but one thing I do have to say is, yes, if you're starting brand new, like you just created a Gmail account, or you had a Gmail account, you had a YouTube channel, but you just started posting videos, it's going to take a few days, weeks, months to start building traction, especially if you basically start uploading your videos and staying consistent. Now, consistency can be, once a week, once a day, once a month. From what I've learned in my personal experience, everybody's schedule is obviously going to be different, right? Everyone's lifestyle is different. If you're a parent like me, kids work 9 to 5 and trying to fit everything else in between and to make content and so forth. Yeah, it takes time. You may not be able to post. So, if you have free time or not, don't burn yourself out. And that's one thing when I originally started was trying to kind of post daily or at least twice a week, and sometimes I felt like that kind of hurt my channel or hurt my growth, because YouTube was still trying to learn my content to who to put it out there for and so forth, and getting better at your craft. And what I mean by that is a couple things. Is that basically, if you are a gaming creator like myself and you're looking to do such things, is that if you're starting out, see other channels, see what they're doing. And in essence is, if you know a friend, if you had a friend that's making gaming channels and they're doing really good, see how they're formulated, meaning how does their thumbnails look? Does it look overly crowded in terms of thumbnails? So keep in mind, when you make a thumbnail, think of it as like a billboard to your business, or a billboard to your videos. Then comes down to the type of narration. What are you talking about in your video? How are you? There's a lot of small things that go involved. Now, I do say this. There are some creators who just start out into the gaming niche, or just really any kind of content, and just take off right off the rip. But we also got to realize that some channels will do that and yours may not. And if it does for you, awesome, fantastic. But you just got to realize that a lot of times that's not going to always be the case, right? You're not going to always just right off the rip have great success overnight. It just takes time to build up. The biggest thing I would have to say, what I've learned to kind of help proceed in terms of engagements and views and getting to that subscriber count, is a type of content that I'm kind of like putting together. Now, the biggest things I was putting together are between PC and Nintendo related product or game reviews, game suggestions, and just kind of like I would say my biggest video right now, I might pin it here or it's in my channel, is Nintendo Switch is just easy, right? Making content around Nintendo. I see that a lot of like casual gamers, parents, people are looking for on-the-go handheld devices for a budget-friendly, still, even though the Nintendo Switch is over $500, but compared to most, it is an absolutely steal in terms of gaming handheld devices, but that's nonetheless. So finding topics that people are actually searching for. And one of the key things I've used, now I get it, some of you at this point, if you're here, you may not like what I'm about to say, or some of you may frown upon it, but I've used, Google searches, Google Trends, ChatGPT, free. I even use the paid version, Claude, for the simple sake of just kind of getting ideas. And that's a whole other video, but I've used tools and resources to help kind of get ideas and formulate those videos, those searches, try to find, what are people searching for and demand to kind of get my videos out there. Because if people are searching for, Nintendo Switch, is it good for new moms, or is it good for new dads, or for casual gamers? Those type of topics and making videos around this had helped my channel and videos grow to where they are. So using searches is also what helped me push my video content and my subscriber base up to this point to grow. And I've noticed that using that type of strategy has helped my content and growth. Now, of course, it's not going to necessarily be the golden ticket. There's more to it, but that's probably one of the biggest things I've seen that has helped me reach 100 subscribers is making content in the gaming niche, or gaming space, and for what people are searching for. Like I mentioned, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Claude, or Google Trends, or simply go to YouTube and type in let's say right now, for an example, I'm currently playing Splatoon Raiders for Switch 2, and I type in Splatoon and kind of finding what the top searches are for, and then kind of go from there. So overall, making actual content around high search volumes and using your resources to help you. Now, I don't know about you, I'm no pro like editor or pro like content creator, none of that stuff. I'm just using tools and resources and some knowledge to help kind of formulate my my videos. Now, with that being said, coming back to like YouTube making thumbnails, yes, YouTube thumbnails are probably one of the biggest things. And early on, if you look at my early videos, making thumbnails, oh my god, just like most, I am absolutely horrible. I am no photographer in that sense, or editor or video, anything. Now, I've looked at sites where they give that you can send off like your pictures to make YouTube thumbnails, and that costs money. And I've done it before, where one time it almost cost me up to almost $100 just for one video thumbnail, and that can get expensive. So, and the time that goes in, because if you find a creator who makes those YouTube thumbnails on whatever, I was using Fiverr at the time, that it just takes time, the revisions and the cost and so forth. So yeah, and to do that for every single video can get a little costly. Now, I've gotten a little bit better to make my own thumbnails and kind of lay the foundation, but yes, here's another thing that some people may get a little upset about. Yes, using AI like ChatGPT or Midjourney or any kind of like large language models to help kind of lay a foundation in terms of my, like, say, YouTube thumbnails, to kind of help lay a background. Because yeah, I try to learn some skills, but it also too has helped speed up the process and to lay a foundation in terms of my thumbnails. Then I go into Canva and start adding in some borders or some text, stuff like that. Has helped quite a bit. So using tools to your advantage and resources has also helped me just basically not necessarily speed along the process, but also help take care of tasks or things that I can be also too focusing on a little bit more. Now, some of you, if you are here at this time and you are using any kind of AI assistance to help write with scripts or keywords or data analysis, let me know in the comments, and I'll get it. Some people will frown upon using that. You're not a creator if you're not this, and I get it, but at the same time, you got to use tools at your leisure, or what you can, especially if you're working on a budget or you don't want to spend a lot of money, or the time may be time of an essence, so to speak. So either way, whatever works for you, let you can do you kind of thing. Now, also too, for me as a personal level here, that my schedule is all pretty busy between being a dad of 2 and working full time, a 9 to 5 kind of thing. So trying to find and make videos. As you see, I'm in my car. The way I look at it is any video can be good. It can be any background. You can be walking in a park. You can do whatever it is. In most cases, has helped too as well. Voiceovers, doing video reviews, doing recommendations has also to help push my channel out and videos, especially around the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 ever since launch, and making videos of Nintendo's high anticipated games such as the Mario game, Yoshi games, Zelda, the Splatoon Raiders, stuff like that. making videos around that type of content has definitely helped, because especially Nintendo has always been a high success and just across any kind of creator, and making videos around that, reviews and talking about, is it worth it kind of video content because of the cost of videos, video games, stuff like that, indie games, talking about indie games, because a lot of times some people are like, oh man, Nintendo Switch is more kids and family oriented, there isn't really more adult or more mature games, and there actually surprisingly is not the greatest of games, but being Nintendo Switch 2, there's a lot of great titles out there too as well. Coming back to it too, I'm playing on a PC side of things. Talking about games now, for me, I don't really go live as much, but trying to focus around like my long form content and just the type of videos of that, like I mentioned earlier, in search, and like the whole search and demand kind of thing, like what's trending, what if I'm finding a game that I really want to play, or it's a pretty popular game, like the upcoming games like Gears of War E-Day. There's a lot of content and opportunities there as well to make content and like tips, tricks, lore. Is it worth it? First time Gears player. There's so many good content ideas that you can focus around and make that. So coming back to everything to sum this up, and thank you again for hanging out with me, watching it. The biggest thing to take away are going to be is it's going to take time, especially if you just started a YouTube channel. Yes, it's going to take days, weeks, months to get your channel off the ground. Posting a video, if you have the time and if it's packaged right, I say go for it if you can do once a week, but don't burn yourself out and just put anything up and then expect it to hit success. Chances are it may or may not, but you might burn yourself out because you feel like you have this imaginary deadline kind of thing. Using trend searches like Google searches, stuff like that, YouTube searches, so trying to find high trending searches and content videos around that, making your content and all your videos around those particular searches. Now, I'll have to take this. Now, one bonus thing, I probably should have said this earlier. One of the biggest things as I'm starting out on a YouTube channel is the time of my video. Let's face it, and I'll just kind of sum that up. If you're a new channel or you see someone new and they have like a 30-minute video, and depending on the video and how entertaining you are and what you got going on, chances are they're not going to watch. Viewers are not going to watch, at least my personal opinion. Viewers are not going to watch that long video of 20-30 minutes of just some gameplay, maybe doing some kind of commentary. It's, in an essence, right? So I try to start out with videos anywhere between 5 to maybe 10 to 15 minutes, give or take. Some videos there are maybe a little bit longer, but give or take, it's usually around that 10 to 15 minute mark, just for the simple fact that it's long enough, and also too to kind of help CTR and like watch time and so forth. Because it's just, I don't think that right off the rip as a new creator or starting to build your subscriber base, that having super long form videos is beneficial. But to each your own, give it a shot, but just kind of keep that in the back burner. But again, overall, that is it. Making content, finding your niche, using trending searches, using AI for your assistance in terms of just, data analysis, finding ideas, help kind of build and brainstorm, and using tools at your resources to help, create that. Because it's just like, I don't know about you, but, I'm creative. But, we always run into that brain fog, fog, in that writer's block, if you will, because we're going into this not knowing anything other than just, how to play a video game. Cool. A lot of us obviously do because we're gamers. But going into now understanding the YouTube analytics and the logistics of things and how actual things work and so forth, there's more to it. So having tools and resources has definitely helped. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Wish you nothing but success. Thank you for hitting that sub button if you are, and stay tuned for more content videos, because I'm definitely looking at playing that Gears of War E-Day. Super excited about that. But yeah, hope that helps and give you an idea. Open the discussion in the comments too. Thank you for sharing, subbing, and all that good stuff. But good luck on your journey. Until next video, guys, I'll see you around.